Going to the bar party tonight, Mr. Dagmar goes in?
No, I'm doing something way more fun. I have a dentist appointment.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, so, Mr. Bowerman, your attorney is, Mr. Murphy. Mr. Murphy, do you need a breakout room with Mr.
Yes, please, Your
Bowman?
Honor. Just briefly.
All right.
Judge, that replay that we just did, is that a no contest or guilty?
I was guilty.
I thought so too.
Okay.
Well, the paperwork says no contest.
I asked, is this a no contest or guilty at one point? That's what.
Your staff just asked me too. I'm checking the paperwork.
Okay, so hold on, I'm gonna open up a breakout room with Mr. Murphy and Lenawee County Jail 2. So Mr. Bowerman, I'm gonna put you and Mr. Murphy in a breakout room. There you go. Mr. Dagmar goes in. I have Mr. Souter. Mr. Souter, can you unmute your device, please? There you go. All right, can you hear me, Mr. Souter?
Yes, I can.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joshua Arthur Souter, file number 2023-21522FH and 23-21523FH. Michael Dagmar appearing on behalf of Mr. Souter. Mr. Dagmar, I'm fully aware that your building was shut down. Do you need a breakout room with Mr. Souter?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, all right, this is a date and time set for sentencing in this matter. Mr. Dagmar, you've had ample time to speak with your client.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Souter, have you had an opportunity to read and review the pre-sentence report?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've had an opportunity to discuss that pre-sentence report with your attorney?
Yes, I did.
Are you satisfied with Mr. Dagmar as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Dagmar do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any of the information in the pre-sentence report?
Your Honor, in reviewing the PSI, there are no additions, corrections, or deletions to be made. We are ready to proceed with sentencing.
All right, and the pre-sentence report doesn't disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any no constitutional defect?
None to my knowledge at this time, Your Honor.
All right, and the guidelines for the count 1 motor vehicle unlawful use were calculated to be 0 to 9 months, and the guidelines for the police officer fleeing third degree were calculated to be 0 to 17 months. Do you agree with those calculation of guidelines?
I don't have any challenges at this time, Your Honor.
All right, before the court passes sentence, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Souter?
Your Honor, I just asked the court to follow the recommendation of probation. I think that makes sense based on Mr. Souter's cooperation and throughout this whole process and just the facts of the case itself. So there's not much to add. I know that he's eager to just put this behind him and move forward. So I would just ask the court to follow the recommendation.
All right, Mr. Souter, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
No, Your Honor.
All right. In determining the appropriate sentence in these cases, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been set upon the record at this hearing. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offenses, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for the law, and the protection of society. Mr. Souter, on file number 23-21522FH, you will be placed on probation for a period of 3 years. The Secretary of State will be suspending your driver's license. During your term of probation, you're not to use or possess any alcoholic beverages. You can't enter any bars or places where the primary purpose is to serve alcohol for drinking on site unless the field agent has given you written permission for your employment at a specific location. You must not use or possess any controlled substances or drug paraphernalia unless prescribed for you by a licensed physician. You must not be with anyone you know to possess these items. You must use prescription drugs only as prescribed for you by your licensed physician. You must not use any object as a weapon. You must submit to search and seizure of your person and property, including but not limited to your vehicle, your residence, computer, without need of a warrant if the field agent has reasonable cause to believe you have items which violate the conditions of your probation. You must not drive a motor vehicle while your driver's license is suspended by the Secretary of State. There is a $130 crime victim rights fee, court costs in the amount of $750, attorney fees in the amount of $450, and $60 DNA fee, and then $68 in court costs. Ms. Holly will calculate a monthly amount that you will pay to make sure those are paid off in 36 months. On file number 23-21523FH, will be placed on probation for a period of 3 years. The same terms of probation will be applied, and you must obey and comply with all the articles in your terms of probation. There is a crime victim assessment fee in the amount of $130 and $68 in state costs. Now, he only pays supervision fee once, right?
Right.
So on file number 23-21522FH, there is a $30 per month supervision fee. If you're required to wear a tether, that will be $60 per month. And I'm not going to assess court costs and attorney fees on the second file, only on the first file. All right. Mr. Souter, you know, you got a good deal on this. You have 7 prior misdemeanors, 1 prior felony. I hope that you successfully complete probation. Don't be driving. Because if you get caught driving with a DWLS, that could be a violation of probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And we are going to mail to the address we have on record your notice of right to appellate review for each file. You're going to initial and date the top copy for each file, and then you will return those 2 copies back in the self-addressed stamped envelope that you received back to me. The other copies are for you, and if you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days. Anything further, Ms. Holly or Mr. Dagger-Margosian?
He reports to today,
Today?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. What time? You're here by 8, right?
Yeah, you have between 8 and 10.
All right. So Mr. Sutter, you need to report to Ms. Holly next Tuesday between 8 and 10.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Dagger-Margosian?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Very good. Thank you all. All right. So I've got, I guess you come to see Joanne's Fader meet. Oh, okay. Everybody always visits her.
Ida, is that you?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just do that.
Yep, I got it. Let me just
Is
hit.
Rankin- No, it's fine. Take your time. Is Rankin gonna appear in person?
I have Attorney Tom Kroll in my waiting room to do best.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Murphy, you ready on Mr. Bowerman?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so let me get Mr. Bowerman. All right, this is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Gary Scott Bowerman. I have 2 files. I have 23-21342FH and 23-21445FH. Mr. Bowerman is represented by Matthew Murphy. And Mr. Murphy, you've had an ample time to speak with Mr. Bowerman.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bowerman, have you had an opportunity to read and review the pre-sentence report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, have you had an opportunity to discuss the pre-sentence report with Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
All right, are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you wish to, Mr. Murphy, explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in the pre-sentence report?
No, Your Honor.
Does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect?
No, Your Honor.
On file number 23-21342FH, the probation department has calculated the minimum sentencing guidelines to be 0 to 11 months on the motor vehicle unlawful use. And on the police officer assaulting, resisting, obstructing, attempted, they calculated the guidelines to be 0 to 17 months. Mr. Murphy, do you agree with the calculation of guidelines?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Murphy, do you, does pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect?
No, Your Honor, not that I'm aware of.
All right, Mr. Bowman has 26 prior misdemeanors and 7 prior felonies. So before the court passes sentence, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Bowman?
Yes, Your Honor. From our understanding, the recommendation is for Mr. Bowman to go into the drug court there. I would ask the courts, obviously, to follow that recommendation. Mr. Bowman wants to take advantage of the opportunity and participate in that court. I would ask the courts, in regards to the one file, there was a recommendation for 6 months in jail with credit for, I believe, 152 days served, if I'm not mistaken on that. I would ask the court to consider, I'm not sure how much time Mr. Bowman would have left to serve that out. I would just ask the court to consider giving him credit for time served on that file and closing that out. I just want him to get processed and into rehab as fast as possible. Again, I don't see the point in him staying any longer at the jail. I don't know if he would or not, but that's just what I was asking the court to consider. Other than that, we would ask the court to adopt the recommendation.
All right, Mr. Bowman, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
Yes, Your Honor, I just emphasize on what Mr. Murphy had said, and
Mr. Bowerman, I'm sorry, that room has really bad audio. So if you can like lean forward a little bit and say it again for me, please.
yes, Your Honor, I'd just like to emphasize on what Mr. Murphy had said, and I am just eager to take the opportunity to complete recovery court, and I'm excited about giving this opportunity and chance again to get the opportunity to do that. And I'd love to go to rehab as soon as possible. And I've never been there before in all my past. So I think that's what would be best for me, and that's what I need, and that's what I want to do. If you please follow the recommendation, and I really appreciate Ms. Angelo.
All right. So, Mr. Bowerman, was it you or your brother that sent me a Facebook Messenger a couple years from Florida?
That was me, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Bowerman, I have known you since you were like 18. I think I represented you the first time you got in trouble. How old are you now?
40, Your Honor.
Okay. So you're getting old now. Are you getting tired of this?
Yes, Your Honor, definitely am.
So drug court is an amazing program. And I will tell you that having a lot of experience representing people who have addiction issues, when people come into the drug court, there are people that I think, oh my God, they're never going to make it. There are people that I think they have all the skills necessary to make it and don't. And then there are people who just quietly keep their head down, do what they need to do, and move on with their lives. So I know that you're smart enough to do it, but you have to fully be willing to dedicate yourself to it, and it works. It
Yes.
absolutely works. And you can't run. There's no more running.
Right.
You can't dip off to Florida and send me a message saying, hey, I'm in Florida, catch me if you can. No more of that. So
No,
when
I will not do that, I promise.
okay. And if you relapse, you go to Miss Teskey and say, hey, I relapsed. And then we give you services. Because it's not about locking you up. It's about giving you wraparound services and all the help that you need to succeed.
Right, Your Honor.
Okay.
I've been taking the engagement group in here too, and also talking to a lot of people inside of here. And I know a few people on the outside, like you said. So I've done a lot of research about it, and I know what the program's about. And I believe that it's a great program. I'm glad that it exists, and I'm really hoping I get the opportunity to prove to you and myself that I can do this. And you're definitely right about everything you said.
Yeah, I know you can do it. You got to get to the point you know you can do it. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. In determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for the law, and the protection of society. Sentence of the court on file number 23-21342FH, that you will serve 6 months in Lenawee County Jail. Will give you credit for 152 days. So I think you pretty much already have good time and credit for time served on that. And there is all right. And then on file number 23-21445FH, it's a sentence of the court that be placed on probation for a period of 3 years. Mr. Bowman, during that term of probation, you cannot use marijuana. You can't use medical marijuana. So because it's a drug court program, you can't use or possess any alcohol or other intoxicants. You must comply with all the requirements of alcohol testing and drug testing from the probation department. You must not have or possess any controlled substances or paraphernalia. Can't be with anybody that has it. So if you got friends that are still using, they are no longer your friends.
Yes.
You find new friends. Okay, you must complete outpatient or residential substance abuse treatment when referred. And if you leave those programs, that's a violation of probation. You must take all medication as prescribed by a licensed physician. You must participate. Do you have your GED?
No, Your Honor, it's something that I am going to obtain during this process, and I've been
Okay,
wanting
So what
to
I
do
would
it, just
say-
haven't done it yet. Yes, Your Honor.
okay. It's not something I'm gonna want you to do right away because you're gonna have other things to focus on, but in the last half of the 3 years or something, you can work on that.
Okay.
You must complete a psychological evaluation if referred. You must complete mental health, domestic violence, battery intervention, or any other treatments if ordered to by your service providers. You must not have any contact with an Isaac Ben scooter, either directly or through another person. You can't be within 500 feet of the residence, school, or place of employment. The field agent has the right to enter your home at any time for probation supervision. And you must submit to search of your person and property, including but not limited to your vehicle, residence, computer, without warrant if they have reason to believe you have something that violates your term of probation. You must report any arrest or police contact, loss of employment, or change of residence to the field agent within 24 hours, weekends and holidays accepted. You must find employment, and that's going to be the beginning is hard because your employment has to work with your drug court. So if you get an employer that won't let you take the Tuesdays off, then you got to find a different job, and we work with you on that, okay? All right, so okay, so is Sarah Tusky, are you here? Yes.
Yep, I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm looking at this. Is there an option for him to be released to treatment?
Well, absolutely.
I just don't see it in here. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, I'm sorry. That
there
was my
was-
intention if I didn't put it in there.
There
It's
was, I
okay.
thought, it says, that, the recommendation would be for, 1 year in the Lenawee County Jail with release to inpatient on one file, and then 3 years probation, but the other file, it said 6 months with 150 some days
Okay.
credit. So
Yeah.
I did see
Mine
that it
is-
was on the one file.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think it's in that, it's in the evaluation and plan, not in this. All right, it's a sentence of the court. You'll serve 1 year in the Lenawee County Jail, give credit for 152 days. As soon as a bed becomes available, you'll be released to that treatment program. It's the holidays, so it might be a week or two, so understand. And then when you go to that program, you must obey and comply with all the requirements of that program and not leave or get kicked out, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there is a victim assessment fee in the amount of crime victim assessment fee. I maxed them out on the one file, Miss Tusky.
Okay.
So,
He still has to have crime victims' rights and estate costs on that.
yeah, but at crime victim rights fee on file number, because it was a misdemeanor attempted.
Okay,
So on 23-21342 FH, the crime victim rights fee will be $75 and the state cost will be $50. And then on file number 23-21445, you will pay $750 in court costs, a crime victim assessment fee in the amount of $130. And there is a $68 state cost. Attorney fees in the amount of $450. There's a $30 per month supervision fee without tether, but if we have to put a tether on you, then it's $60 per month. And you must enter, attend, and complete the Lenawee County Adult Recovery Court following all the recommendations made by the same. Anything else, Ms. Teskey?
No, Your Honor. I'll get over, Gary, I'll be over there to see you, soon, probably on Tuesday to
Okay,
get your signature on stuff. But,
Okay.
Hope House has the best, availability right now. So when CMH comes to see you, Hope House has the best availability.
okay, Ms. Teskey, and could you maybe contact CMH like I have said to you when you did my PSI? I have been screened, but that was for misdemeanors. I don't know if they still need to
That's fine.
re-screen me.
I'll get that taken care of on Tuesday.
Okay, all right,
All
sounds
right.
good. Thank you very much.
Yep.
So, Mr. Bauer, remember, this is different. If you run, you go to jail. If you confess, you get services.
Yes,
Got it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So we're gonna send over to the jail 3 copies of your notice of right to appellate review for each file. I need you to initial and date the top copy for each of the files just to acknowledge you received the paperwork. That's gonna go on my file. The other copies are for you. And if you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days. All right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And don't send me messages on Facebook, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you guys all.
All right.
Have a great day and happy holidays.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Bowman.
you too. Thank you, Mr. Bowerman.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day, everybody.
You too. Okay, I think I have 1, 2. Mr. Jared. What happened to? Mr. Malaro is, hold on. Disconnected, that's fine. Mr. Malaro, you have Jade Brown, right?
That's affirmative, Judge.
All right, he logged out and logged back in. Okay.
You're right there.
Right there, I know, I just logged back in. All right, Mr. Brown, we're back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jade Brown. So, Mr. Malaro, we had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report with Mr. Brown.
I have, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Brown, you've now had an opportunity to read through the misdemeanor pre-sentence investigation.
Yes, I have.
And have you had an opportunity to discuss that with Mr. Malaro?
Yes,
Are you satisfied with Mr. Malaro as your attorney and the advice that he's given you?
yes, I am.
Mr. Malaro, do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or relevancy of any information in the pre-sentence report?
I do not, Your Honor.
Does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exists any known constitutional defect?
Not to my knowledge, Judge.
All right, there are no guidelines on this. So, Mr. Malaro, your client receives disability, is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
I would. Your Honor, it's an older file. Mr. Brown has certainly taken responsibility for this matter, even though the homeowner was deceased. I don't believe there's any restitution on the issue because the marijuana plants were recovered shortly after they were taken. As the court's aware, there was some old probation cases which have now recently been resolved, I believe favorably for Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown would like to ask the court to accept the recommendation in taking into consideration that he is on disability due to his condition, which has been long-standing condition. He does live in Toledo. or do you live up here now, Mr. Brown? I'm not sure.
No, I'm still in Toledo.
Okay, he lives in Toledo. And so we'd ask the court to take that all into consideration.
Mr. Brown, I don't want the house number or anything, but are you still on Earl Street?
No, it's 3849.
Hold on. Because we're live, I don't want you to, I'm gonna send you a chat, and if you can just
Okay.
send me back your address, I'll update it.
Your
So I'm
Honor,
gonna send you a chat.
Judge, the address on the PSI is the correct address.
Correct, yes.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Okay, so, all right, anything you'd like to say on your own behalf, Mr. Brown?
No, Your Honor.
In determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing. The criteria and reasons for the sentence are the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication of the law, and protection of society. So because you are on disability, I will reduce some of the fines and costs. So I will place you on, all right, so your fines and costs are going to be a $250 fine, $50 state costs, $75 crime victim rights fee, and then $250 in court-appointed attorney fees. So that comes to $625. How long will you need to pay that?
Probably a few months.
Okay, so what I'll do is I will place you on like 2 months, 60 days.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay, so, all right, I'm not going to place you on probation then. So it's sentence of the court that you will pay a $250 fine, $50 in state costs, and a $75 crime victim rights fee, along with the $250 court-appointed attorney fee. Mr. Milaro did a lot of communication with different groups to try to get this taken care of. I would ask that you pay that within 60 days. And I am going to have mailed to you 3 copies of your notice of right to appellate review. And in that envelope will also be a self-addressed envelope back to me. So initial and date the top copy, and then put it back in the self-addressed envelope and put it in your mailbox. The other 2 copies are for you. And if you wish to appeal your sentence, you would fill out the information on the form and mail it to the address listed on the form within 42 days. All right.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Milaro?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much.
All right. Happy holidays. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice weekend, Your Honor. Good luck, Mr.
You
Brown.
too.
All right, thank you. You too, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so I have a bunch of attorneys, so let's see. Jeff forgot me.
A call cannot be completed. Call cannot be completed.
What was it? Sewer line broke in their building yesterday?
I'm sorry.
Water main broke in the PD's office. All right, well, I'm gonna start my